everyone, it's Tanya from SoulDustAcademy.com, and I've been away for a little while, and I am back. I thought that I would share with you a simple three-card draw that I did for all of us for mostly the month of February 2018 that we're headed into, but also including January 31st. When we will have a full moon, I want to get this right, full moon lunar eclipse. It's also a blue moon, the second full moon in the month of January 2018, which is fairly rare in and of itself. And so this reading here, again, a simple three-card reading for all of us, all signs, will cover that eclipse heading into February and then the entire month of February 2018. It's an interesting year. Before I show you the cards that I drew, that first full moon of 2018 happened on January 1st, and so it set the tone for the entire year. And of course the moon is feminine energy, it is reflective energy, it is intuitive energy, and watery, emotional as well. And so these themes are going to continue throughout the entire year, but they're also being again sounded here at the end of January with this blue full moon lunar eclipse on January 31st. And so that is leading right into the first card that I drew for all of us, which is the Hermit. And perfect, right? Because the first thing that stands out to me on this card is the lantern. It is something that may stand out to us normally on the card because it is a prominent feature of the card. But this reading in particular, it is for me echoing again those themes of the moon, and that the moon and all that she represents are what we should be looking to for guidance as we head into February in particular, but also for the entire year of 2018. So the Hermit card is just absolutely fabulous because you can see he's in this dark landscape, and he has this lantern that is guiding him forward. And always with this card, the light is within us. It's a spiritual card as well, so it's a spiritual light that is guiding us forward. This holds true now as well, but with this added layer of the light, in this case, for us in this particular moment, heading into February, it's the intuitive light. It's even more this light that's within us, the reflective, intuitive knowingness that we have, all of us have within us. And so this is a strong call to get in touch with the light within us. It will never lead us astray. So it could require some quiet time, it could require some meditation, it could require some writing or painting, or whatever it is that you use to take you within, walks in nature, bubble baths, whatever works for you to get in tune and in touch with that inner knowing, that inner voice, because it will guide us. The other thing I wanted to point out about this card, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but on his cloak there are stars and moons. And so again, it's just perfectly fitting for the message. I also love this card because he's standing on this cliff, this icy cliff, but it kind of disappears into the sky in the background. So it's a very interior card. It speaks of extremes, the light and the dark, but also the, kind of the warmth of the light, but also the cold of the surrounding atmosphere. So we have some opposites going on, which are underscored in the second card that I pulled, which is the Ace of Swords. And if what we were talking about the reflective, intuitive, feminine energies of the moon in the first card, this is sounding the opposite themes of a more masculine energy. It is an energy of the mind. It's analytical, it's logical, it pierces through all of the non-essential to get to the very heart of the matter, to get to the truth. This is also going on because we have Jupiter in Scorpio right now, and so we have a lot of truths coming to the surface on a lot of different levels. You know, from Hollywood scandals to the Me Too movement. And so this card is talking about that process of getting to the truth, and then the way we're getting to the truth is very different from what we did over here in the Hermit, which is intuitive and internal searching, reflection. With this card, it's more about using the logic, the rational, the masculine, even action-oriented endeavors to get to the heart of the matter. And this is also a card of victory. What really stood out to me on this card when I saw it was the hawk. And I'll bring the card a little bit closer. And it's really wonderful. You can see that his or her wing, is taking on the silvery quality of the sword there. It's almost reflected in the sword as well. The hawk is. It's a perfect symbol for this card, the hawk, because the hawk is a messenger of spirit, like eagle. And so this speaks to receiving messages from spirit, again, echoing over here with the Hermit, but it's different. It's sounding those sort of two different ways, the internal, the external, the masculine, the feminine, the logical or the intuitive ways that we can get to this truth, get these messages on how do we move forward in our own personal lives and in our collective lives as well, because that's the third card here. So if there are questions that you have heading into February here, if you have questions about the year, which direction should you go? Should you think of getting a new job, or looking into a new relationship, or whatever questions that you have all of these many different tools at your disposal here to draw on, and to draw on all of them to figure out the best way forward. Your intuition and the internal light within, which is also spiritual, and then these more external, logical spirit messages that connect the earth with the heavens. What else about the Ace of Swords here? I think that covers most of it. But I want to restate that this is a card of victory. So if you do draw on all of these resources that are available within all of us, whether we're a male or female, we have these intuitions. We have the light within, we have the logic, and to a greater or lesser degree, we're all different. But if we use all of them to figure out the best next step for ourselves, then we will reach victory, and we will reach the truth of who we are as a person. And this leads directly into the third card that I drew, which is the Three of Cups. And this is really wonderful because we have, in the middle of February, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. Okay, so the full moon lunar eclipse on January 31st is in Leo, which is the sign of the individual, the ego, the heart. It's a lot of heart energy. Whereas the solar eclipse in mid-February, February 15th, I believe, is in Aquarius, the opposite sign, which is all about community. And so the cards are almost mapping out the energies that are going to be happening over the course of at least the next 4 weeks. But these eclipses can last up to 6 months, depending on who you ask. Some say 3 months, some say, different amounts of time, but they have a particular amount of time that they're going to be exerting their influences here. And these feminine energies will be running throughout the entire year because of the first full moon there on January 1st. And also, I think the full moon on January 31st, it's just echoing and amplifying. It's also a super moon that we have on the 31st. It's just, there's so much of this feminine, reflective, more soft light that's also very, very powerful, though, to light your way in the darkness. It is one of the most powerful ways that you can find your way this year is to tune into that inner landscape and that intuition that you know the next step. This third card here, though, getting back to the mid-February of the solar eclipse, solar new moon eclipse in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of the community, the sign of bringing who you are, your uniqueness out into the world. And the Three of Cups is showing this with these three women gathered here. The Three of Cups is also, we're back to this more emotional, watery energy, which we had in the first card, the intuitive, before heading into the rational energy here with the Ace of Swords. But both the Ace of Swords and the three, well, oh, I know what I was going to say, sorry if I'm jumping around, but the one last thing I wanted to say with the Ace of Swords is it's a new beginning, okay? New beginnings, always with the Aces. That's echoed also with the new moon solar eclipse, because the new moon is also about new beginnings. And as we head into this mid-month of February, there is going to be an opportunity for new beginnings with bringing who you truly are, which you've hopefully reflected on in the first part of the month there, into the community evermore. And this is always a process. It's not like all of a sudden you're going to be coming, or maybe some of you will be all of a sudden coming out, you know, and saying, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, this is feeling more authentic to me, taking real sharp turns in your lives, wonderful. But sometimes it's just, you know, it's baby steps. But also I want to read this card, the Three of Cups, as another resource that you can use in figuring out the best path forward for you. You can call on your community. You can ask your friends, your family, your loved ones. And so, you know, in whatever way feels right for you. Another way that it can be playing out is that you are considering not only yourself in your decisions, but also how will your decisions impact the community. Perhaps if you're considering new endeavors, new beginnings, new relationships, new projects, a new career path even, one of your considerations may be, I want to make a bigger impact on my community. How can I do that? Okay, so this card can be happening in a lot of different ways, but it's definitely the Aquarius group energy happening, coming in here mid-month of February with that new moon solar eclipse, and that's exciting. This could also be just spending more time with your friends or loved ones in community. Whereas the first part of the month was much more solitary, you taking downtime, maybe spending quite a bit of time just by yourself. So we have both here going on in the next month and probably also through the next year. So this is exciting, so yeah, I think I feel like there are some other things that I want to say with these. We can read these cards with all these different resources available to you to draw on as you figure out your next step forward, but also kind of the different energies that are going to be happening here on a timeline. Okay, so these are some different ways that we can read the cards. The beginning of the month will be more solitary and interior, where you're going within and doing that reflective, intuitive searching. Middle of the month, first week or two of February could be more of the action-oriented, logic-oriented endeavors that are going to be very positive, very, very good outcomes with those. And then from the 15th of the month, being more in community, and coming out a little bit more and having some more fun and relaxation time. So some different ways to read the cards. I hope they did resonate with you. I do hope all of you have a wonderful February of 2018 and eclipse season, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.